Hey there, all you wonderful people. Welcome back to another video of DPDR Fridays. This is the video series where I give you some very quick tips and hints to help you with your recovery with DPDR. And today I'm going to give you one tip that you can use, that you can start implementing straight away to really put you on the path towards recovery. You might not actually be aware, but habits is one of the main things I actually talk about when I'm coaching people through their DPDR. And the ways that I sort of talk about it with them, it's sort of twofold. Its habits is in regards to what are they physically doing? What are their physical habits? And also what are their mental habits? So some examples of physical habits could be things like you don't really get out of the house at all day. You're in the habit of staying at home. And some of the more mental habits or psychological habits are usually around what you're thinking. So for example, are you in the habit of thinking that because you've had DPDR so long, it's going to be so hard to recover? Are you in the habit of thinking that you're not going to go out and have fun at parties because you think that you're going to have a panic attack when you go there? So what actually is sort of happening with all this stuff, and what's really interesting here is that with all these things, these are essentially bad habits, okay? And you don't know that you've formed them. So for example, with you, if you are in the habit of thinking, well, I've had my DPDR for so long, or I just can't see any light at the end of the tunnel, that it's going to be really hard for me to recover and it's going to take a long time. Now, this is the thing, okay? Do you know it's going to be difficult to recover? Do you know it's going to take a long time? And of course, the answer to that is no, you don't know because you haven't done it. But what's sort of interesting here is that because you're telling yourself that it's going to be really difficult, or because you're telling yourself that it's going to take a really long time, then you start to believe it. So this is the really sort of weird thing, right? Is that these things that might not actually be true, you're making them true by saying it to yourself and believing it. So one of the big things I do with the people that I help with my coaching is that we start to challenge this type of stuff. You know, is it true that it's going to take a long time to recover? How do you know that? What evidence do you have? What experience do you have that it's going to take a long time? Why are you believing that it's going to take a long time? Oh, well, I don't know why I'm believing that. I guess I just thought that that's what happened. I thought that's how it worked. Well, what do you think's a better thing for you to believe? Do you think that if you work really hard at recovery, it could take a month? Well, maybe it could. I don't know. So you sort of see how we're challenging this type of stuff. So that's one of the big things that I can sort of give you a bit of a hint on now is challenge and look at what habits you've actually got and say to yourself, am I actually making this true just because I'm believing it? Or is it an actual fact and it's 100% truth no matter what happens? And I bet you a lot of the time, it's just you making it true. So that's what's sort of a really powerful thing. And that's why we spend a lot of time with the people that I help talking about all this stuff, is because this type of stuff is the stuff that's holding you back. And this is the type of stuff which is not really letting you be able to move forward at the pace you'd want to get to. And essentially, it's almost like you're getting in your own way. You're sabotaging yourself. So it might take talking to somebody or having a really deep think about it to actually realize, well, maybe all this stuff I'm saying isn't true. Sure, I feel like crap. I've got symptoms. I have had it for a year and I don't see that it's ever going to get better. But how do you know it's not going to get better? How do you know it's going to take a whole year to get better? Like, how do you know there's no light at the end of the tunnel? Like, it might feel that way, but just because it feels that way, it doesn't actually make it true. So it is going to be really beneficial for you if you can start to look at all these habits and, you know, sort of check yourself a little bit and be a little bit harsh with yourself and be a little bit curious with yourself as well with regards to what are you thinking? Why are you thinking that? What are you doing? And why are you doing that? And perhaps that will sort of lift up some of these barriers which could be stopping you, maybe are stopping you from having your DPDR recovery. So my friends, I hope you've learned a little bit from this vid, and go out there, write a list right now, start changing your habits, identifying them, see why you're doing them, get rid of the bad ones, keep the good ones, create some more good ones. Good habits are always good to have. And until next time, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.